So, I think everybody knows that Power Rangers are generally pretty powerful. I mean, they can take explosions to the face, even though they have to demorph, they rarely show blood and just have some dirt on their face. Those Sun Power Rangers are powerful than others, and I say we find out I think is the most powerful Power Ranger ever. So let's get on into it. So, first, I'd like to give an honorable mention to all Six Rangers. I will be bringing up a few Six Rangers, but they all of them always seem to be more powerful in their first appearance, but then later on, they're kind of like the same power as the other Rangers. So it happens more often, actually, when they become evil and then they become good. When they are evil, they're more powerful, so that way the Rangers aren't just at like a standstill. The Sixth Ranger usually beats them, but when they become good, they kind of lose some of the power. So, yeah. The first Ranger that showed any sort of capability of being stronger than others is Tommy. Now, of course, everybody loves Tommy, but this is actually proven. Like, you can see in the series when he first becomes the Green Ranger, he can very easily overpower sometimes even all 5 Rangers. I like to think of it as kind of like a recharging thing. Like when you first get a new toy, it is the best condition it will ever be. But even if you turn it off and turn it back on, it still won't be as powerful as it first was. Which is kind of like a Ranger. Like they're always more powerful in their first appearance when they morph. But then when they demorph, or when they demorph and then morph again, they're kind of like, they're not as powerful. Or it's just sometimes they just use too much energy. But he also had a limiter put on him. Like the first time around, he was like, "Oh no, we're in trouble. Call Tommy," and then the day is saved. But then he lost his powers, which even during that time, he was during the kind of episodes leading towards it, he was kind of losing his powers, and they were weaker. But then when he came back, for a return of an old friend, he was kind of less powerful. And then the Green Candle arc, which made him even less powerful, and then he eventually lost his powers, but then he became the White Ranger. And then he kind of was just as powerful, though he could take on Goldar by himself. But Goldar also was less powerful by that point, so, but yeah, the next Ranger I'd consider to be more powerful than other Rangers is the Phantom Ranger. Now, of course, he also has a disability, the fact that he has the Phantom Ruby, but he had that taken away, he was really powerful. It's the same thing as Tommy. The Rangers be losing, Phantom Ranger shows up, they win. The next Ranger would probably be Ryan from Lightspeed Rescue, though he's the first American exclusive Ranger, so he was really powerful when he appeared, but then a lot of times when he appeared, he's not morphed, because he's American exclusive. It's easier to film him just as the actor than as the Ranger. In fact, he only has 14 appearances in the entirety of Lightspeed Rescue, which is just kind of crazy. Although nowadays it's more common for them to have 14 something appearances, 14 episodes, because they appear. Six Rangers usually appear towards the later end of so on Netflix. That's when I always watch the first bit of Power Rangers. You have 11 episodes that come out first. Usually towards the end of those 11 episodes, the Sixth Ranger would appear. So that would mean that they only have a few, 11 more episodes. Say they appear in episode 11. They have 11 more episodes to appear in. That's only 12 in one season. So it's more common now. But anyway, the next Ranger is Trent. He was, again, it's kind of like Tommy. He was more powerful when he was evil, less powerful when he was good. Though he still stood a chance against his evil Ranger counterpart, which is obviously he would be the same power level as evil Trent. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe not. Like, maybe the clone evil White Ranger is weaker than the original evil White Ranger, because it's said that there can exist two Rangers of the same color, even though there does sometimes. Like, in fact, during that season, there was two Red Rangers, two Yellow Rangers, two Blue Rangers, and that's it. But, still. But anyway, since two White Rangers existed, it was like he was less powerful, so that would mean that he was actually less powerful than the original Evil Ranger. So I guess it does make sense. But ultimately, he isn't shown off as much because they try to focus on Kana, Kira, and Ethan more than Tommy and Trent. Though Tommy does get a lot of focus, but he mainly doesn't appear because he actually signed on to the show as a favor from I think a director or something. So yeah, he, like, all the times that he's invisible or he's morphed only, that he was in America. They filmed in New Zealand. He was in America with his family and stuff because he had a wife and children. He was in America, and he would just record audio lines, send them over. Boom. Sorry to burst your bubble if you didn't know that. But the next Ranger is the Shadow Ranger. Again, he's the same as Tommy and now Phantom Ranger in the way that he shows up, saves the day, everyone's happy. In fact, the Rangers even acknowledge this in the show, in the fact that they say, oh, now that Shadow Ranger is here, we don't have to work as hard. But in reality, they do. But anyway, honorable mention goes to Omega Ranger. He's powerful, but I didn't want to include two Rangers from the same series. The next Rangers, Rangers, is Gem and Gemma. They are two people, but I put them in the same area. But I would say they are more powerful. Well, they're powerful in the sense, they're a different kind of powerful. They're not more, I wouldn't say they're more powerful than the other five, but they're not, they don't have the same power set, so they're different power. They have different powers. The next Ranger is Zenowing. He, in my opinion, is one of the few 6th Rangers to stay the same power level throughout the entire appearance, throughout all of his appearances, even though he has 4. He has the same power level throughout the hall. It's not really anyone to it would kind of be awkward if he has his real powerful first appearance, not really that powerful later appearances, especially since he doesn't have that many appearances. But anyway, the next Ranger is Steel. Not only is he a Beast Bot, but he's also a Ranger. I don't know what is their title. The Silver Grid Battle Force Ranger, Grid Battle Force Silver Ranger, Ranger Operator Silver. I don't know. But anyway, he does die though, but he dies to the power of the Morphing Grid, which I think if anybody entered that besides Alpha, they would die. But he didn't die to a villain, so he's not oh no, the villain overpowered me. No, he died to the Morphing Grid. But overall, I would say the most powerful Ranger is Orion, aka Super Mega Force Silver. Not only is he powerful in his normal Ranger form, he might have super speed. It was only shown off in the first episode, but he might. He can also transform into any previous Ranger. Though in Gokaiger, their later appearances, they can also transform into 6 Rangers past them or in the future that come after them. But we don't know because Super Mega Force has not returned, so we don't know if they can transform like that. He also has a battleizer, one of the few 6 Rangers to share this, to have a battleizer, along with Cam, Eric, Trent, and Antonia. So that's who I think is the most powerful Ranger. I do hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because I love making these videos, and I do hope you guys enjoy watching them. But anyway, I shall see you guys next week. Bye.